What's up everybody, Alex here and welcome to the Dota Underlords Best Builds of the Week, the weekly series where I show you guys the top 5 builds in the Dota Underlords meta to help you rank up. Now, let's get started. The first build that we've got today is we've got the Legion Commander build. Legion Commander has been a consistent staple of the ranked meta game so far in Dota Underlords. What you got here now, a reminder for those that are relatively new, the more alliances you have active, the more benefits that the champion hero, Legion Commander in this case, receives. 3% extra damage and 8% health. And what you're doing here is you're actually running, a pretty wide alliance. You're taking advantage of like the druids, for instance. You got Lone Druid and you have the Tree and Protector, two extremely valuable druids, both leveling each other up. You're also going to get a free level up on the Legion Commander from time to time because counting as a Druid Alliance member, they will pass along the benefit to Legion Commander. So if you have a 2-star Lone Druid or an Enchantress early in the game and a 2-star Tree and Protector, the Legion Commander will get the benefit of the additional star. We're running 2 demons here, and this is very important because the Demon Alliance bonus is going to allow for an increase in damage, 50% pure damage. Now, the way we have this set up is if you have opponents lined up here, Doom should cast first. After a few seconds, Chaos Knight should then cast, and by that time, your Legion Commander should be engaged and then should cast hers, and therefore get a very significant boost in damage. You can even line her a bit further back if you're finding that she's kind of getting into the mix too quickly. But the idea here is that by the time these two cast from the front line and then your Legion Commander casts, she's going to get the benefit of the damage increase of the Demon Alliance, but also the opposing team is going to be kind of damaged and at low health. So it's going to help her to get up those very necessary those kill counts, those dual kills that we're so after with Legion Commander. And for the second build of the week, what we've got here is we've got Mages. Now, Mages have made a major comeback. They recently got buffed. Some changes have been made. The major change is that they now do 35% increased magic damage at 3 mages, which is beneficial. 10%, I'll take 10% all day long. But the major change is Joel himself. So Joel, especially with Roundhouse, that gives mages a particularly strong tank up front. Early in the game, if you don't have Lich, you're actually using Ogre Magi up front to help kind of tank. And then once you take Ogre Magi out, you put Lich in. And then what you do is you run the 2 insects to add some evasion. Have the insects kind of fall down and increase the survivability of your team. You're protecting your Keeper of the Light. Thankfully, Pudge is not a big deal right now because warriors aren't in a great place. But if you're finding yourself against the Pudge, what you want to do is this. Okay, switch these two around like this. Bait the pull for the Storm Spirit. If Storm Spirit gets pulled, he's just going to flip away anyway. So that's what you would do to avoid a Pudge. I position him here because if an Assassin comes and starts hitting the Storm Spirit, he's going to Chain Lightning away. So it's a relatively balanced build. Overall, right, this build is all about protecting your Keeper of the Light. He's your primary DPS. You want to make sure he's protected and that he's doing long, diagonal casts across the board in order to maximize the amount of damage he's doing. And for the third build of the week, we're running Assassins. I've been having nothing but success with this build. This has been one of my favorites for the past few weeks. You're running damage support and Essex. The End of Medicine and Enthrall work perfectly with Assassins. I like End of Medicine over, say, support damage dealing Hobgoblin because support damage dealing Hobgoblin, Let's Go Crazy, is cast a little late in the fight, whereas End of Medicine is cast relatively early. I like that initial burst. It helps to kind of take down the opposing team a little quicker. And the stun really helps to kind of immobilize the opposing team. And then when you add Chrono Cube there as well, they're really just standing there taking a beating from your assassin. So I really like that combination. One thing I will mention, you can also go with Alchemist and Broodmother up front instead of the Sand King and Kunkka. The benefit you're going to get here is that little initial burst healing is going to heal up one or two of your assassins very early on. It'll help sustain them because the problem with assassins is, well, they're squishy and they can blow up pretty quickly. So it's very important. If you're finding your team's blowing up a little fast, you can go with this mix as well. Also bear in mind that Acid Spray does reduce armor, which is really beneficial for assassins. Now, one thing I want to mention, Nyx Assassin has a very special role. You can play him back here if you want, but if you see someone like a Legion Commander, if a Legion Commander is like 2-3 stars and it's like raid boss level and they're like doing a ton of damage, two-shotting guys, you're going to want to put Nyx Assassin with that Legion Commander. So you're going to want to make sure if you're like, top 3, top 4, top 2, you want to make sure that Nyx Assassin is placed with the Legion Commander because as long as he doesn't get one shot, basically what's going to happen is Spike Carapace is going to activate on the second hit. And what it's going to do is it's going to shoot back 100% of the damage that Legion Commander does. You could very well put Legion Commander into position where if she's like at raid boss levels, that she almost one-shots herself. So it is really really beneficial to kind of sacrifice Nyx Assassin to get rid of that raid boss Legion Commander. So please keep that in mind. Nyx Assassin is a fantastic counter to Legion Commander. And for the fourth build of the week, what we've got here is we've got Savages. I have been hinting in my videos that, you know, Savages were coming. I was working on a Savage build, and here it is. I've been having a ton of fun with it. I do recommend an Essex here. It could be either you know, End of Medicine in Essex or Healing in Essex, whatever one you want. The healing helps sustain the fight. The End of Medicine helps kind of amplify the amount of damage your Savages are doing. But at the end of the day, what you're running here, this is a 9-unit build. You want Io and Bristleback, because what you want is you want to ensure that Io's on Bristleback. You want the damage reduction. The attack speed's not so valuable. It is, it helps, but really what you're looking for is the damage reduction. He's going to engage up front. He's going to be kind of quill spraying the side, which is a stackable kind of skill, absolutely fantastic skill. Very possible that that Bristleback leads in DPS by the end of the match. But ideally, what you want here is you're running the 4 druids so that you can basically level them up very well, have a very strong mid to late game. It's a build that transitions very well from the early to late game. You're adding Doom late. He's basically your ninth unit to get in that brute bonus there. If you're finding you're against assassins, what I would do is I'd actually move Doom back here and kind of tighten up a bit. You want to leave Tree and Protector up front for his Leech Seed healing. But overall, it's a super great build. I do like Venomancer over Tusk, by the way. Tusk, I feel, you know, adding another unit on the front line, it's not as effective. I feel like Venomancer does a little bit more work. Plus, Venomancer, I think, is a little better than people give him credit for. But at the end of the day, Refresher Orb on someone like Lone Druid is going to do wonders. But this is a very good build, one that I've been having success with, and one that I think that'll help you climb the ladder. And for the final build of the week this week, where would we be without our meta Scrappies? Okay, yeah, we got meta Scrappies. The Gyrocopter is your 9th unit in. You're going Hobgun, support damage dealing Hobgun, of course, because Let's Go Crazy is just too damn good with Scrappies. The armor bonus is just too valuable because it basically extends the fight with the regeneration. And Let's Go Crazy gets maximum effect. This is, you know, your straight up classic build. If you're finding that you're against an opposing Pudge, what you're going to want to do is you'll probably want to flatten out a bit, and I would do something like this. Maybe even like this, and then what you're gonna do is it's gonna basically bait a pull on Weaver as long as they're relatively close. If they're on that far side, you're basically just pinning Weaver in because snipers can be able to hit, so you'd want to kind of branch out even further to ensure that your guys can actually make the movement in. But so you want to pay attention to your opposing team's positioning if you're against an opposing Pudge, but realistically Pudge is not too common right now, so you're probably safe to leave Sniper in the corner and do your standard positioning here, something along those lines. I like Weaver here because if you do get jumped by assassins, Weaver will cast his, I don't even know how to say that, but what he'll do is he'll kind of slither away and get out of harm's way while still being able to do some DPS. He basically drops all targeting. Overall, a great build. That's why everyone's going it. If you're in a lobby with like 4 Scrappies, which is not uncommon, you should be going Mages because Mages will absolutely destroy Scrappies. Thank you so much for watching, and a special thank you to all my subscribers. Take care, everyone, and I hope that these builds help you find success in Dota Underlords.